Good morning, Kentuckiana. It is 9 a.m. on your Saturday. Thank you for joining us here in the 9 o'clock hour. I'm Jim Stratman, sitting in for Grace as she's got the weekend off as we kick off your weekend in a very fun way. We're going to check in with Reed Yaton, our meteorologist. He's out at Caulfields. And Reed, you are joined by a couple of interesting looking characters right there.
Indeed we are. One of the scariest front porches in all of movie history. The front porch at the Michael Myers house. It's recreated here at Caulfields, 10th and Main in downtown Louisville. That's where we are. We're glad you're with us. This is Kentuckiana's gathering place every Saturday morning in 9 o'clock hour. Huge hour, and we're glad you're a part of it. Probably the last time you won't see me in costume. This is Tracy Caulfield, like you've never seen her before.
That's right.
They have a makeup artist here. And you can come in and get this done, can't you? Or they show you how to do it.
Right. They show that he will go over with step-by-step instructions on how to do it and what makeup to use to do it. He doesn't
So
actually
which is which?
This is a witch costume, but this is just an example of what you can do. So I am not necessarily a witch. I'm more of a skeleton.
Yes, you are.
Zombie. So I have a separate wig that I put together with this, and then the contacts.
Well, so what would this get up cost with the wig and everything?
This one is a little higher end costume. I think this one's around 80.
You won't believe what they have done with costumes. We've got 2 separate costume shows coming up, as is our tradition, but instead of 1 per hour, we're doing 2. So 9:15, 9:16, we'll have the first of our costume shows. Now, you're chomping at the bit. You want to know what the forecast is. You're going to smile when you see this. We have a lot of sunshine. It's cool sunshine out there now. Nice way to start your weekend. Up to 73 today. It'll be breezy out of the south, southwest, maybe over 25 miles an hour at times, but look at tomorrow. Why is it much cooler tomorrow? Well, there's going to be a dry cold front come through. No weather with it. It'll drop the temperature down to 63 tomorrow. It'll be a nice, crisp fall Sunday. We're awful glad you're here. And Jim, it's a pleasure to work with you this morning. I'll give it back to you to bring us up to date on the stories we're working with on this Saturday morning.
Well, I appreciate it, Reed. We will check back in with you here in a little bit. But right now, we're going to take you to the situation in the Middle East. It is continuing to escalate with Israel's ground invasion looming. Many are calling for a ceasefire between Israel and Hamas, but neither are relenting. Last night, 2 Americans being held hostage by Hamas were freed. The mother and daughter are said to be headed back to the U.S. soon. ABC's Liz Landers has the latest on the war.
A glimmer of good news from the horrific war between Israel and Hamas, as 2 Americans will be heading home after being freed from Hamas captivity.
We welcome the release.
The 2 hostages, identified as Judith Renan, 59 years old, and her daughter Natalie Renan, 17, both from Illinois, are now back in Israel and expected to return to the United States by next week. Natalie's father says his daughter is doing good.
Tola, I love you. I miss you very much. And I hope for the release of the other hostages.
President Joe Biden spoke with them by phone, offering full U.S. support. Meanwhile, at least 10 more Americans are still being held hostage alongside 200 or more other people, says the Secretary of State, who assured the public their release is a top priority.
The urgent work to free every single American, to free all other hostages, continues, as does our work to secure the safe passage out of Gaza for the Americans who are trapped there.
Thousands of people have been killed and injured in both Israel and Gaza since Hamas attacked Israel 2 weeks ago. And Israeli forces are expected to invade Gaza in a ground incursion at any time. And this morning, hope for millions of people trapped inside Gaza as trucks loaded with humanitarian aid were seen passing the Rafah crossing at the border between Egypt and Gaza, a deal negotiated by the U.S., Israel, and Egypt to deliver critical supplies like medicine, food, and water. In Washington, Liz Landers, ABC News.
Egypt's president has agreed to allow the Rafah border crossing to continue to operate in a sustained manner so that more humanitarian aid can safely get into Gaza. Well, new this morning, we have learned from the LMPD that Officer Colin Bellotto has returned to work on light duty. You'll remember that Officer Bellotto was one of 2 LMPD officers who responded to a traffic stop that led to Officer Brandon Haley being shot. Now, that stop happened along West Kentucky Street. Those shots were fired from a nearby house, leading to an hours-long standoff. So far, no one has been charged directly with that shooting. LMPD says Officer Haley continues to improve. The update follows LMPD's new officer-involved shooting policy. And we also know that Shively police have made 2 arrests in connection to a shooting on the Watterson. Police say they responded to reports of a man down on the off-ramp of the Watterson at Dixie Highway back on September 29th. The LMPD says Lewis Jones and Carnesha Taylor called the man's mother to demand money minutes before that shooting happened. Court documents say Taylor told police that Jones and the man got into a fight when she heard a gunshot. Taylor then drove herself and Jones away from the scene. Now, the victim died at the hospital. Jones is being charged with murder. Taylor has been charged with complicity to murder. And many are wondering if class will resume Monday morning in Nelson County. We know that school had to be called off again on Friday after teachers and bus drivers called out sick to protest against a school merger. That merger would combine Nelson County High School with Thomas Nelson High School. Those in favor of that merger, including Bill Osborne, who is a former Nelson County School Board member and bus driver, say that resources are already just stretched too thin.
Facilities are not putting kids first. Putting kids first are making sure that they get the education that they deserve. And we need to just back up, let the administration, let the board figure out what's best for this county.
The kids now, they get to play, and some of them won't ever get to play sports. And a lot of them, that's their reason for coming to school.
We reached out to the superintendent and the district spokespeople. They ignored our request for comment on both the merger and these school closures.